Hello, in today's video we'll be installing an Invidia Q300 Catback exhaust on a Scion FR-S. To begin, we'll want to start by lifting the rear of the vehicle to give us enough room. We also want to be sure to support it with jack stands on both sides. Before loosening the bolts, you may want to spray them with WD-40 or a penetrating spray of your choice to make the bolts easier to remove. I let them soak for a good 5 to 10 minutes. To loosen these two bolts at the flange, you will need a 14mm socket. You want to loosen one side and loosen the other side before completely removing the bolt. When you remove the bolt, you want to be sure not to lose the nut that comes off on the other end. When I remove them, I like to put the nut back on the bolt so it doesn't get lost. And the flange is now free. Now we just got hangers to remove. Spraying WD-40 on the hanger before trying to remove it will make it a lot easier to remove. You'll want to push on the metal bracket with your thumbs and pull the rubber hanger with your fingers and it'll slide right off. And this is how your exhaust should look at the moment. Now we just got 4 more hangers to remove. And you'll want to repeat the same procedure. It'll have 2 hangers on one side and 2 on the other side. They make a tool for these hangers in case you find them hard to remove, or you can just use a screwdriver. Just slide in on the side and go around the edges of the hanger and pull back. But you don't want to pull the hanger off completely. I like leaving them on halfway so it could be a quick removal at once. And removing a hanger while more weight's on it makes it even harder to remove. You'll want to support the weight of the exhaust with a jack and a block of wood. This will distribute the weight more evenly. This is how you want your hangers to look for a quick removal. And you'll want to do the same on the driver's side hangers. If you choose to do so, you can also separate the rear muffler from the pipe to make it lighter and shorter, but I just remove it altogether. Once you're ready to remove the old catback, just slide all the hangers right off. And now that we got all the hangers off, we can just lower the jack that's holding the exhaust up. And now just slide it out. I like mucking it up beforehand so I can get an idea of how it's going to go. And this is our bag of hardware that's included with the gasket, bolts, and clamp. We'll have to use the original flange gasket, so we'll want to check the condition all around to make sure that it's not damaged. Now we can bolt up the pipe to the flange using the original bolts that we removed with the nuts on the opposite end. You don't want to tighten any bolts yet. You'll want to mount the entire exhaust system first, leaving all the bolts hand tight only. Next, we'll want to attach the new shorter pipe using our new flange gasket, the 2 new bolts, and the nuts. Again, you'll want to leave them only hand tight, so we can adjust the exhaust if necessary. And we can now mount it on the hanger. Next, you'll want to insert the clamp before installing the rear muffler. When installing the muffler, you'll want to slip it onto the pipe first, then support the muffler with your knee as you mount it on the hangers. Now we can slip on the driver's side hangers. You'll want to ensure that the muffler slips completely on into the pipe, making sure that there's no hole that you can see. Now we can head to the back, and you'll want to check to make sure that your tailpipes match on both sides, checking that the gap is the same all around on both sides, and that the pipes sit even against the bumper. If so, you can now start tightening the bolts starting at the front flange. You'll also need a 12mm wrench to hold the nuts in place as you tighten the bolts. When tightening the bolts, you'll want to tighten each side little by little so it tightens evenly on the gasket. And we can now fully tighten them. One thing to note, after driving the car 50 to 100 miles, you'll want to retighten all these exhaust bolts again, as they may loosen. We can go ahead and continue tightening the next flange gasket. You may need a 14mm wrench to hold the bolt as you tighten them. We can go ahead and tighten these next flange bolts fully. And again, you'll want to retighten these after 50 to 100 miles. Now finally we can set up the exhaust clamp and tighten it using a 17mm socket. And this Catback exhaust system is now completely mounted. Looks pretty cool. Finally, we can check the tailpipes one last time to make sure that they're still adjusted properly. And here's some sound clips of the original compared to the new one. Hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please click that like button to support my video and channel. And please subscribe for more content.